Veritas began in the year 2012 with nothing, nobody, no money, no facility, just with a vision that God planted in my heart of starting a Christ-centered school for my children and for others of this generation that are so hungry for a more Christ-centered education. Veritas started because of the problem of modern education. As C.S. Lewis described it so well in his book called The Abolition of Man, the head is separated from the heart of our children in their education, so that students are learning a lot of knowledge, a lot of skills, but they're not really seeing God in the midst of it all.
Classical schools usually arrange themselves around the 7 liberal arts. There you have the 4 mathematical arts, and you have the 3 language arts. Elementary school breaks down into the grammar stage, which is about memorizing important facts, and then the logic stage, which is middle school, which is about learning how to think about how those facts are related to each other in logical manners. And then ultimately, the high school years are about rhetoric, which is learning how to articulate those truths in ways that are wise and loving. And so this is very different from other schools, or at least it's different from the education that I received, in that by the time they get to high school, we really want students to not just know things that are true, but also be able to express them in ways that are good and beautiful.
Our goal from the get-go is to intentionally train our students to be engaged in the world, to know the world more than themselves, so that we could be winsome, so that we could persuade their hearts, win over their hearts and minds to love Christ and love life because of Christ.
So I've been looking for a school for my children, and I did look at a lot of schools. I did not like any of them. And there's something on Google Map that came up as Veritas Classical Academy. So I went into the internet, I searched for the school, I went into the school website. It seemed to be a really interesting school. The values that they pursue are really set apart from the rest of the world. Other Christian schools would say that they want to excel for glory of God. But at the end of the day, their definition of excelling is sending kids to, better ranking colleges.
When a student goes to school in order to just gain special knowledge or skills in order to get a good job, then, that's what they're going to get, a good job. But is that all of life? Or will they be happy?
If an education isn't touching those deep parts, these deep human questions, then you can have a student go through their education without ever really getting an answer to why they exist. And so I've really tried to figure out how do we bring philosophers like Plato and Aristotle, and how do we bring Christianity to these children in a way that would help them figure out why are they even here? And it's been a huge honor for me, because in this type of school, we take those questions very seriously. And we want to read the best authors and the best thoughts on those questions, because it's in answering those questions that we find meaning, that we find beauty, that we find truth, that we find goodness. And then when we internalize those things, we find freedom.
I think definitely one thing that sticks out for me in my own personal experience at Veritas is definitely their priority within education, what they prioritize, what they believe education to be for.
At first, I thought the goal of going to school and learning about all of these philosophers and great thinkers was to be a leader. But as I have studied at Veritas, my journey through having relationships with teachers and even the elementary students, I've learned to be a follower, not just a leader. Because in any situation we're given, we have to learn how to listen and be honest in humility. And I think all of the opportunities at Veritas constantly open the space for that.
And so in my own personal academic experience, I've seen how they not only prioritize the growth intellectually of students, but also spiritually, emotionally, morally.
Here at this school, while you're learning, you can really feel the teacher's heart for you, and you truly know that they want to help you and help you for your future. It's not just teaching you a subject and then it's over. They want to make sure that you understand the concept and that you actually enjoy. Like, they make it really fun.
I've personally grown in my relationships with teachers through the way they care about me, through the way they teach material that they think will honestly benefit me as a person. I can value them as people who I can share even some of my darker secrets to, people who I can talk to casually, not people who are kind of hard to talk to or people who are apart from me, but people who I can genuinely interact with and bring my struggles to.
We want to create an educational culture that is as lifelike as possible. And in a public school system where you're with your peers, same grade, it's not lifelike at all. So we created these house, like Harry Potter, like house system, where each student is placed in one of the 4 houses: Alfred, Beowulf, Charlemagne, and David. Like older high school, middle school, and primary school, they're all in one house.
It seems like my son in particular knows all the names of everybody in the entire primary school, grades above him, grades below him. I feel like every time I'm at Veritas, one of the older kids says goodbye to him.
Since there's not as many people here, you get to really get to know each and every one of the people in your school. You're able to respect each other and really get to know more things about them. So I think because of the little people here, I got to really know everybody really well.
And so older and younger students, they really become bigger and younger brothers to each other and sisters, and they really learn to take care of each other. And this is the ground in which they can practice all that they learn at Veritas.
I received this journal. They have to do these journals kind of cataloging how they're doing. And I had this, one of the girls finally said, I actually understand why I want to be wise. And it's because she realized that it's in being wise that she can be happy. And so she's like, I'm going to spend my whole summer reading great books just because I want to start living this way. And that's an 8th grade girl.
This is God's vision in the scripture. He wants to create an entire community. We don't want to separate our professional life or the private life. It's all really part of the one big culture of enjoying God together as a community.